A warm welcome to everyone. Today, we will not going to explore outer space, but we will try to deep dive into our inner space. I mean, it's about consciousness, and there are many theories available. For our audience, I have done some research and will explain about this subject. Let's first know about the scientific explanation about consciousness, and after that we will see different types of consciousness in humans. Consciousness is defined as a state of inner consciousness, or awareness of the external environment, or something within oneself. Many labels have been used to describe it, including self-identity, being aware of the outside world, individualism, and consciousness. It's tough to sum up in a single phrase, because there are numerous scientific and philosophical explanations. The nature of these sensations, known as qualia, has remained a mystery from the beginning until the present. There's also a belief that our five senses play a role in awareness. Consciousness, by definition, necessitates awareness of something. External things can be made conscious to us through perceptions mediated by our senses, and this is a form of consciousness. We do, however, have the ability to reflect perception of pieces of accessible information already in the mind. We can introspect and ponder about memories, concepts, or other accessible aspects of mind if we walk into a beautiful calm dark room and close our eyes. We see things in consciousness when we do this, even though our eyes are closed, and so forth. As a result, there are two portions to the span of consciousness. External items are perceived through the senses. Internal knowledge is perceived through introspection. On this basis, it is logical to conclude that if we lost all of our senses, our awareness would be restricted to introspection. Through introspection, we would only be able to see things that are already in our minds. If a person never had any senses, for example, if they were born without them, their brain would probably not receive any external signals, and so the mind would have no external knowledge. Because there would be no information in the mind for the person to introspect, introspection would be exceedingly limited, or possibly non-existent, in this instance. If your brain has complete control over you, you are said to be unconscious. To be awake, you must have control over your brain, and the phrase "you" refers to a driving force known as the soul. In this context, the driver you choose to govern your body determines everything about you. Understanding brain activity and how it influences human behavior has advanced significantly. However, no one has yet been able to articulate how all of this leads to feelings, emotions, or experiences. How does a sense of pain or the perception of red result from the exchange of electrical and chemical signals between neurons? There is a growing concern that traditional scientific approaches will never be able to provide an answer to these queries. Fortunately, there is a different strategy that might eventually be able to solve the mystery. However, many researchers who study consciousness underrate the complexity of the problem, thinking that we only need to keep studying the physical features of the brain to figure out how they produce consciousness. However, the consciousness problem is fundamentally distinct from all other scientific issues. One explanation is that consciousness cannot be observed. You cannot see someone's thoughts, feelings, or experiences from the inside. We wouldn't have any reason to postulate consciousness at all if we were merely basing our assumptions on what we can observe from a third-person perspective. We are aware of our feelings and experiences right away, which is how we know that consciousness exists, rather than through scientific experiments. As of now, we have limited part of research available, but in our next video, we will discuss about new scientific publication, where we will be able to answer that at which part of brain our consciousness produces. We will look into physical aspect of consciousness, and discuss the current progress made by scientists till now. Do subscribe to our channel for astronomy, cosmology and science updates. Take care.